following is a special presentation of Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. Well, good Saturday evening, boys and girls. This is Big Pauly coming to you live on Saturday night, just having completed watching the Masters third round. The Masters, a tradition unlike any other on CBS. Think I could do that? Well, we were supposed to have an HTBL game for you, but due to the length of a few events in my life this afternoon, we're going to do it live tonight. And hopefully most of you will watch this on tape later, because I know we got RJL going, we got Dave Little going, we got my buddy Al Red Sox fan up and running with his Met replay. I'm not trying to compete with them. I'm just trying to get a little experience doing these live streams again. And tonight we're going to have Houston and St. Louis for you. This in the timeline is May 29. The season of the HTBL. Everybody has played 51 games. We'll go through the standings real quick, get to our game. Detroit is in a tie for the lead with St. Louis and Chicago, tied for the best record in the HTBL at 33-18. HTFL is what we will get to again. Come Monday, we'll be all right. So the standings right now, and let me disappear, go. Bloop. There we go. And I'll go through the standings real quick. Boston, 32-19, leading by a game over New York, 4 over Montreal and Philly. Toronto by 12, Washington by 12, Baltimore by 12. In the Mid-East Division, part of the Atlantic League, as is the East Division, it's Detroit at 33-18, Cincinnati 5 back, Cleveland 6 back, Tampa Bay 7 back, Pittsburgh 9 back, Atlanta 9 back, and Miami right now 17 back in the Mid-East Division. In the Midwest, we have that tie between Houston and Chicago. Minnesota is 5 back. Houston is 6 back. They will play St. Louis in our game today. Milwaukee 7, Kansas City 13, and Texas 14 back. In the West, we have a tie between San Francisco and the Major League Castaways team. Major League Castaways have been playing pretty good, at least to this point in the season. You kind of wonder when Los Angeles will jump into the race. They are now just 1 behind San Francisco and the Castaways. Colorado is 6 back, Arizona 11 back, Seattle 12 back, and San Diego is 16 back. Vladimir Guerrero is your batting average leader, 371 over Ted Williams, 363. Babe Ruth with 15 homers, Guerrero 48 RBIs, and Ted Williams leading with 1.198 OPS, and he is 123 points ahead of Vladimir Guerrero. Pitching-wise, Greg Maddux is your ERA leader at 174. Ed Walsh right behind him, 177. John Clarkson is probably the biggest story right now in terms of pitching in the HTBL. He's 11-0. Just won his last game Thursday against Seattle in a blowout. Rob Nen, 17 saves. Buffington of Boston with 101 strikeouts. So let me set up our game, which is going to be Houston and St. Louis. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a live broadcast of NBA 75-76. Enjoy that magical bumper music. And I will start that immediately after the final round of the Masters is decided tomorrow. I'll probably watch that all day tomorrow. So we have Houston and St. Louis for you. And I'll show you how I set this up. I do not play as both teams when I do these games streaming wise. But I have to set up both teams, otherwise the computer has a middle-age breakdown. So you're going to hear a lot of boop, 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 boop. Bobo Newsom will start for St. Louis. Pete Harnisch for Houston. And off we go. Just show you the setup screen for a moment. Harnisch has a 4.66 ERA and Newsom 4.41. And I'm going to set the computer to play for Houston. And we will get underway here from Busch Stadium 3 in the beautiful city of St. Louis. Your batting order for Houston: Biggio at second leads off, hitting .265. Cedeno, 242, is the center fielder batting second. Bagwell, 258, at first base batting third. At third base batting fourth, Ken Caminiti, 240. Lee is your left fielder batting fifth, 343. Poole in right, 198. He bats sixth. Edwards, 232, is the catcher batting seventh. Thon is your shortstop, 212, hitting eighth. And Harnisch at 083 is the pitcher batting ninth. We do not use the DH in the HTBL, at least this season. Of course, now both leagues using the designated hitter. We have the universal DH in baseball now, which is so odd to look at. I was watching, I fell asleep before the group discussion in the Mets Nationals game last night. And we had another group discussion when a pitch went inside and hit a batter in the Chicago-Milwaukee game today. So we've already had two near brawls break out in Major League Baseball. And we're only, 3 days into the season? So let's go over the defensive alignment for St. Louis. Holliday is a 6 and a 6 in the left. Matt Holliday. Jim Edmonds, a 10 and a 7 in right, 10 range or 10 defense and 7 arm. Enos Slaughter, a 6 and an 8 in right field. Boyer, a 9 in a third. Ozzie Smith, of course, a 10 at short. Hornsby, not a great deal of range. He is a 6 at second base. Keith Hernandez, a 10 at first. Simmons, a 6 with a 5 arm behind the plate. Nice hat. And Bobo Newsom, a 902 fielding average, a 5 defense, and a 3 holding rating. So he won't join the 60s band Big Brother and the Holding Company. So Biggio leading off, 265, 3 homers, and 13 RBIs. And this is a grounder. Hernandez, Newsom hustled the cover, and they get the out, 1 out. Simmons, of course, is your catcher. I'm looking at the wrong position here. Cedeno, 243, 4 homers, 16 RBIs. That sharply hit the right, a base hit for Cesar Cedeno. My plan now is to do 3 streams a week. I figure my stream should not take any more than an hour and a half, and that would probably take 18 hours of the 20 that I am allotted as a freeloader every week, freeloader every month. So Bagwell up, 258, 6 homers, 18 RBIs. That's my new plan, to do some streams. Cedeno was going. He's safe. Stolen base number 12 for Cesar. I play as the St. Louis Cardinals, the home team, but I do let the computer do base running decisions. Computer controls everything on Houston. Bagwell, 258, 6 homers, 18 RBIs, an 0-1 count to him. And this is skied to left. Holliday charging hard, makes the grab. But Cedeno will move to third. Great speed, and they don't challenge him. And that brings up Ken Caminiti. Hoping to get this done. My goal tonight is to watch the Anaheim-Houston Astro game. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Caminiti on the year, 240, 6 homers, 22 ribbies. This is sharply hit the right, but right to Slaughter for the putout. So nothing for Houston. And at the end of the half, it is Houston nothing and St. Louis coming to bat. Their batting order: Slaughter in right field hitting .251. Smith, the shortstop, batting .216. Hornsby is the number 3 hitter, hitting .338. The Cardinals are a combination of the St. Louis Cardinals, of course, and the St. Louis Browns when they play the pre-Baltimore Oriole St. Louis Browns. So you may see some Orioles like Newsom, St. Louis Browns like Newsom, I beg your pardon, in this game. Edmonds cleans up, hitting .223. Holiday in left, batting .273, bats fifth. Hernandez, Mr. Stratomatic, .280, hits sixth. Boyer at third, .231. Simmons catching, hitting .301 in the 8-hole. And Newsom, .206, is your number 9 hitter. Newsom only needed 13 pitches to get out of the first inning. Defensively for Houston, Lee, a 5 and a 6 in the left. Cedeno, a 9 and a 6 in center. Poole, a 5 and a 6 in right. Caminiti, a 7 at third. Thon, a 7 at short. Biggio, you guessed it, he's a 7 at second base. Bagwell, a 6 at first. Johnny Edwards is your catcher, an 8 and a 6 behind the dish. And Harnish, a 7, 825 fielding percentage, a 5 hold rating. Harnish can go 125 pitches, Newsom 135. So Slaughter leading off, 251, 4 homers, and 18 RBIs. Ball 4 is the call, and Slaughter will take his base at first. To the Wizard, Ozzie Smith, 216. No homers, 8 RBIs on the season. Pretty decent bunter, and Slaughter can move at first, so we'll try the hit and run. And this is going to go to Fun, only one play, and they get Smith at first base, advancing Slaughter. So there is one out now. Runner at second for the Raja, Rogers Hornsby. 338, 9 homers, 29 RBIs in this HTBL season. It's nearly a third over. And a great play by Carlos Lee to rob a potential base hit for Hornsby. And that brings up Jim Edmonds, 223. 2 homers, 19 RBIs, so his production a bit off early in this season. But this is skied to right and way back and gone. Home run, Jim Edmonds. We talked about his production being off. Well, a 2-run homer there gives the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the first. And Holiday will come up. 273, no homers, 2 RBIs. This is a grounder to third. Caminiti, Bagwell, side retired finally. And the Cardinals pick up 2 on 1 hit. Always nice when that happens. At the end of an inning, it is 2-0 in favor of St. Louis. We'll have a commercial break, very brief, 15 seconds after the third inning, and a 30-second break after the sixth inning. Carlos Lee, 343, 2 homers, 10 RBIs. And this is going to be a base hit for Lee, Carlos Lee. You'll hold on for just a moment, folks. Setting something up to show you later on in the game. So Lee aboard and Terry Poole up. 96 at bats, only hitting 198, 2 homers, 11 RBIs. I'll do a pickoff move, a little calling card action. And now I'll get to business on Poole. This is a grounder. Hornsby just gets the force at second over the Smith, and there are 1 out in the Houston second inning. Johnny Edwards, 232, no homers, 8 RBIs. And the pitch to him is skied to left field. Holiday coming in, makes the grab for the second out. That brings up Dickie Fawn. 212, 1 homer, 6 RBIs. You ever hear a song by Dickie Doo and the Don'ts called Click Clack? It was one of my mother's favorite bands in the late 50s. Here's the pitch to Fawn. Stealing second is Terry Poole, his third stolen base of the year. And the score is 2-0 in the top of the second. And now Thawne looking at a 1-0 count. Ball four. So now Houston threatening a little bit, but the good news for St. Louis is the pitcher is up. Pete Harnisch, 2 for 24 this year, no homers, no ribbies. 0.83 is his average. This is a grounder. Looked like Smith got it through to Hernandez, and the side is retired. So Houston threatens but does not score after an inning and a half. It's 2-0. Keith Hernandez, who is said to have been quite a fan of Stratomatic and makes a lot of Stratomatic references in the games he does for the New York Mets, is at the plate. 280, no homers, 3 RBIs. Like he'll openly talk about a good fielder being a 1, and if you know Stratomatic, you know that's good. And that is a base hit to right field. No, it's going to go all the way to the wall. Poor play by Poole allows Hernandez an extra base. It'll be scored a single and an error. Ken Boyer, 231, 2 homers, 27 RBIs. We'll wait the pitch from Harnisch. Grounder to third, a slow one. Caminiti over to Bagwell. That allows Hernandez to advance to third base for the first out of the inning there. So we go to the 8-hitter, Ted Simmons, best hitter outside of Hornsby and Hernandez at 301, 4 homers, 18 RBIs. This is going to be a base hit to right, it looked like. Simmons scores, RBI single, and we have a 3-0 Houston lead. Corner's in for Bobo Newsom, but he's a good hitter. 206. And I tend to give, when I see the corners come in, I tend to swing away. Give them what they don't want. And he's a good hitter, so why not have him swing away here? Grounder to Bagwell, and they can only get the force at second. Top of the order now for St. Louis and Enos Slaughter. 251 on the air, did not have an at-bat in the first because he walked. And this is going to be a base hit to right field. They'll hold. No, Newsom goes and gets third base. How about that? Doing all those little things right, the Cardinals are. That brings up Ozzie Smith. Nearly said Ozzie Newsom, if you want to know the truth. 0 for 1. And this is going to go right to Thawne. Soft line drive, and the side retired. But St. Louis picking up another run in the second to take a 3-0 lead. Craig Biggio up as Houston goes to the top of the order. He is 0 for 1. And that's going to be a base hit to right. That had eyes on it, and Biggio aboard. And you have to watch him. We'll go to Cesar Cedeno, who is 1 for 1. And there's the throw over to first, the runner back. Pitch to Cedeno. It's going to be a soft line drive to Hornsby. Didn't really even have to move for that. And that's the first out of the inning for Houston. And that is going to bring up Jeff Bagwell. No relation to Buff, I believe. He's hitting 256. Jeff is, not Buff. 256, 6 homers, 18 RBIs. And this is going to be a grounder. Great play by Kenny Boyer. Throws over to Hernandez to get out number 2. And that will bring up Ken Caminiti, who is 0 for 1. Pitch to him with 2 outs. And this is hit high to right field, but it's going to be a can of corn for Enos Slaughter. Side retired. A brief station break after this half inning of 15 seconds worth. It's 3-0. in favor of St. Louis. Bruce Hornsby. No, not Bruce. See, I did it. I was thinking of Bruce Hornsby and the Ranger earlier. So it's Rogers Hornsby, of course. 0 for 1. Was making that joke about his range. And Hornsby aboard. He had a hitting streak coming into this game, but he has started 0 for 1 and a walk. Jim Edmonds, who had the home run earlier in his last at bat, 1 for 1 today. Strike three. So that's K number 1 for Harnish. He gets to 39 on the season. Harnish, a 4.89 ERA, a 4-4 season coming into this game. And he's pitched 2 1/3 in this one. Matt Holliday, 0 for 1. And this is sky to center. Cedeno giving chase, makes the play at the warning track for out number 2. And it's Xavier Hernandez now up. He is only seen 26 at-bats this season. So he had ample time to play Stratomatic. 1 for 1 today. And this is right to Harnish, throws over to Bagwell. We will take a 15-second station break. And you are watching the Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims channel. Stand by. If you like the video you're watching, feel free to use the Amazon link provided. I'll put it in the description down below. I did put the subscription down below. So as you see this live stream, it will be down there for you. We'll take another break for 30 seconds in inning number 6. Your score right now, 3-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Carlos Lee up again, 1 for 1. And this is sky to left. Holliday making the grab, 1 out. Terry Poole is 0 for 1. Strike 3 called. Newsom now, 4.23 ERA. This is updated through his performance today. 5-5, 89 1/3 innings pitched. And right now, opponents hitting 270. As we say hello to Al, Red Sox fan. How many strikeouts did Koufax wind up with in your game, Al? Kind of curious as to how that went. Johnny Edwards was 0 for 1. Looked like he was pitching very well. And right to Hernandez. Soft line drive. Side retired for Houston in the 4th, and we have played 3.5, and your score is 3-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Ken Boyer, who is 0 for 1, that passed away in 1982, and Tommy Lasorda recalls a conversation he had with Howard Cosell, and Cosell praised him during the pregame of a National League Championship Series between the Braves and the Cardinals. That was the year the Cardinals won it all in 82. I'm not going to repeat what Howard Cosell said, but he was glowing with praise of Kenny Boyer, and then Lasorda is like crying, and he said, "Howard, that's the nicest thing that I've heard anybody say about a ball player." And Cosell said, "Tommy, Ken Boyer was it was a word that wasn't very nice." So that's the story on Ken Boyer. Ted Simmons, 1 for 1. Talk about not being nice to the dead and acting like you are. Pickoff attempt, but the Boyer was back. Simmons, ball 4. So now runners at first and second for the catcher, Bobo Newsom, and the corners come in again. 13 strikeouts. Okay, thank you, Al. I was wondering how he was going to do against those 62 Mets, and I have that 62 season on here. So Bobo will bunt, but foul. And with 2 strikes, now he has to swing away. And strike 3 called, only the second K for Pete Harnish. 1 out, bottom of the 4th, a 3-0 Cardinal lead for Enos Slaughter, who had a walk earlier and then singled to right center in a subsequent plate appearance. So the pitch to Enos, and that is a base hit. We'll check Boyer. He will score 4-0 on the single to center field for Enos Slaughter. And that's RBI number 1 for him today. Ozzie Smith, the Wizard, is 0 for 2. With the score 4-0. The pitch. Ball 4, so the base is full of Cardinals. And you got Rogers Hornsby up, who is trying to keep a hitting streak going of 8 games. Score is 4-0 in favor of the Cardinals, who are now looking for more here. A brief confab at the mound. And this is going to be hit to center. We'll watch Simmons tacking up, and he holds. Interesting call there. Didn't want to test the arm of Cedeno. So there's 2 outs, and the bases are loaded for Jim Edmonds, who is 1 for 2, but he had a home run in that one, counting for 1 for 2. Could you pass me a hot dog, please? Thank you very much. As Ella runs across. You couldn't see that. So the pitch to Edmonds, strike 3 called. Harnish gets out of a jam there and keeps the damage to 1 run in the 4th. We have played 4. It is 4-0. And Dickie Fawn now up, then the pitcher, Harnish. We'll see what happens. Might be too early to ask for a pinch hitter here for Houston. Ball 4. So Thon aboard. Now we'll have to bring the corners in for Pete Harnish, 0 for 1. And they do keep him in. And Newsom has 1 play over the first, a successful sacrifice for Harnish, moving Thon over to second. Back to the top of the order, and Craig Biggio, who is 1 for 2 today. Ball 4. Of course, his son, Cavan, is a Toronto Blue Jay these days. So this brings up Cesar Cedeno, 1 for 2. And this is a hot ground ball, and it's going to be a 4-6 force. Hornsby to Smith at second. 2 outs now for Bagwell, 0 for 2. Now this is sky to left field, but Holiday charging, making the grab. We have played 4.5, and the score 4-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Matt Holiday now up for St. Louis. 0 for 2 to this day at Busch Stadium. By the way, the weather 73 degrees, clear skies, the wind is calm. And that's going to be a hot smash to the left, a base hit for Holiday. Here's Keith Fernandez, who's now down to 296 on the season. 1 for 2 this day. Ball 4. So those base runners getting on, and the Houston manager seeing enough, and he's given the hook to Pete Harnish. Bill Dawley will come on. So Harnish only sees a couple of batters in the 5th, and the hook is given. And Bill Dawley, 350, no record, 18 innings pitched, 10 walks, and 10 Ks. Boyer, 0 for 1. This is going to be a grounder. Caminiti is going to step on the bag unassisted, which is going to bring up Ted Simmons, who is 1 for 1 today. Ted, of course, a Hall of Famer. 306 on the season. 1 out. And this is hit well to right. Poole charging. Makes the grab. The runners have to go back. And Hernandez tags, moves to third. So there's 2 outs now for Bobo Newsom, who has to swing away here with 2 outs. And this is his 3rd plate appearance. He went 0 for 2 so far. Fawn gets the force at second, side retired. I had to cough, folks. My apologies. Might have to cough again in a minute. We've played 5. It's 4-0 St. Louis. 4-0 St. Louis. Caminiti is 0 for 2 to kick off the Houston 6th. That's a smash to right, and Caminiti will head to second on the double. The ninth he has had this season. Carlos Lee now up 1 for 2. And right to Smith. 1 out for Terry Poole, who is 0 for 2. He is the 6th hitter, so you got 3 hitters shy of the pitching spot. That's a base hit. Caminiti, with his slow speed, has to hold at third. Runners at the corners. Newsom is at 73 of his 135 pitches. Dolly, by the way, has a 35 pitch count. He is already at 11. Edwards 0 for 2. Strike 3 called. Clutch K for Newsom. That is 2 for him today to get to 76. And Dickie Fawn could be the last chance for Houston in the 6th inning. Ball 4. So now Houston has to make a decision. Do they burn Dolly here, go to a pinch hitter? One swing of the bat could tie the game now, and they're going to bring in Danny Walling. Walling, 300, 9 for 30 on the season. He has 3 home runs and 5 RBIs. So be careful here, Bobo. And there's going to be a little confab before this pitch is thrown. And Walling to Smith to Hernandez, and they get the out. So your score after 5.5 is 4-0 St. Louis. Dan Wheeler, who is the stepson of Dwayne Stats, who calls games on the TV network for the Rays, which is still Bally's. Dan Wheeler coming in. His son Gabe is a local high school player and has done very well this season in the high school baseball scene here in Pinellas County. 6.14 is Dan's ERA coming into this game. 7 1/3 innings pitched, 4 walks, 6 Ks. Yeah, Dwayne Stats is one of Dwayne's daughters married Dan Wheeler, so that's why Dwayne is his stepfather. Slaughter is 2 for 2, and that's a base hit. So make Slaughter now 3 for 3. Hornsby still looking for that first hit. He is on the on deck circle, or in the on deck circle. Smith 0 for 2. Sky to right, but right to Poole. And we will have another station break for you at the end of this half inning. I am getting my spot lined up for you all. Hornsby 0 for 2. Safe is the call as a successful swipe of second for Enos Slaughter, his second of the year. Hornsby 0 for 2, still looking for that hit to extend his hitting streak to 9 games. And that is hit well to right. Poole will watch it go. A home run for Hornsby. Well, that's a way to extend your hitting streak. 6-0 in favor of the Cardinals. And that brings Dan Wheeler's ERA all the way up to 8.22. Edmonds is 1 for 3, still 1 out in the 6th. Right back to Wheeler for the second out. And we have Matt Holliday up 1 for 3. Grounded a third. Caminiti over to Bagwell. And the side is retired. So right now, here's your 30-second commercial break, and you're watching the Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims YouTube channel. And I have it right here, folks. Pauly Talks Wrestling. It just dropped within the past hour or so. May or may not have dropped on your favorite app of choice, but it's right down here on the bottom. 1 year from now is the 6th episode of Pauly Talks Wrestling, and you get the description right here. Can you see it? Can you see it? There it is. Pauly Talks Wrestling. And I use the Overcast app to get my podcasts. I listen to a few poker podcasts and a few Stratomatic podcasts and one or two about wrestling, including my podcast, Pauly Talks Wrestling. So when you get that podcast, you will listen to me. I thought that would be a very, very quick episode as I wrote it down in my notes, but it wound up being about Ellie. You're blocking my way. You're blocking my way, sweetie. Just hold your head right there. There we go. Sorry, baby. So there we go. So it's 6-0 in favor of St. Louis. Almost stretch time. As Ellie is trying to chase down my mouse pointer. Biggio is up 1-2. So, depending on your app, episode 6 has dropped already. And like I said, I thought that would be a very quick podcast as I was writing the notes down, and it wound up being my longest, an hour and 3 minutes, longer than my conversation with Mike Bowes, Utah Mike, which we had in episode 5. So, one out in the Houston seventh, and Cesar Cedeno up 1-3. Sky to left, and Holiday underneath it for the second out. So Bobo Newsom going right along here has not given up a run. He has, in 6 2/3 innings, given up 5 hits, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Bagwell 0-3. And this is hit well to left, but Holiday will get to that due to stretch time, folks. Take a breather. So, 7th inning stretch comes and goes. It's 6-0 Cardinals. And here's Keith Hernandez. It's been a very one-sided game so far. It's one of those 50 games I guess you're guaranteed to win in a 162-game season. Hernandez is 1-2. Bobby Cox said that once, longtime manager of the Braves, was hearing about the fact that he's not in very good health right now. They were talking about that on the ESPN broadcast a couple of nights ago. So we send our best to Bobby Cox. That was the game that featured the Joey Votto was mic'd up, and he was with Ozzy Albies at first base, and they had an interesting conversation. I always said that if you put back in the old days, now of course this is before streams became a thing, that if you put a microphone on and a small camera on a player, it would make for very captivating television. And I think ESPN's finally figuring that out, among other sports outlets. Kenny Boyer 0-2. This is sharply hit, but right to Carlos Lee, out number 2. Ted Simmons 1-2. I mean, you would have to have times in the game, like the way I would envision it, you'd have the player getting instructions from like a coach or a manager, depending on the sport. But there'd have to be times where you have to censor out things, like say if an athlete was going to the bathroom, or you were talking about things that could be considered libelous. I'm sure you'd have to cut that out. Simmons is 1-2. And that's a base hit to right. They tried that with NASCAR, didn't they? Back in the day, where you'd have you would just see where they were on the track, and you'd hear their conversations with the pits. So anyway, Bobo Newsom is up 0-3 and 2 outs in the 7th. So he's got to swing away here. The pitch. Caminiti, Biggio for the force, and the side retired. So nothing for St. Louis, and they'll have to like it in the bottom of the seventh, but they have a 6-0 lead. Caminiti 1 for 3. Strike 3 call. That's the fourth K for Bobo Newsom. Carlos Lee up 1 for 3. And this is skied to right, a line drive home run. The right field, there goes the shutout for Bobo. And it is 6-1. We're not panicking just yet. Newsom at 106 pitches. We'll just play that ninth inning by ear. Try to get him out of the eighth. Poole is 1 for 3. Ball 4. Oh, trouble in paradise, maybe. Johnny Edwards 0 for 3. We'll give him one more at bat here. And this is going to be a grounder. Safe is the call. Okay. Dickie Fawn now up. 212, 1 homer, 6 RBIs. And he walked in this game. Carlos Correa is going to step in and play as a pinch hitter. 258, 1 homer, 29 RBIs this season. The pitch. Yeah, we got to hook him now. Wheeler is the scheduled hitter. Let me see who the closer is for St. Louis. McDaniel. I might go to him now. I'm going to take a gamble and we'll go to him right now. Lindy McDaniel. He's got 75 pitches. So let's bring him in. So McDaniel, I don't use the bullpen rules. I assume everybody gets warmed up properly. 365, 5 saves this year. 0-1, 6 walks, 9 Ks. But he is our closer, so we got to put him in here. The pinch hitter for Wheeler will be Greg Gross. 222, 2 for 9 this season. So we have a game all of a sudden. This is hit to right, but Slaughter will get to it. Side retired. Well, no, that was the second out. I did it again. I miscounted the outs. So McDaniels, well, still, he had 75 pitches. He should get 5 outs. Biggio, they go back to the top of the order, 266. And this is hit well to right. Slaughter making the grab at the warning track, just about. And Houston only scores 1 in the top of the 8th. They have left 12 on base for the game. So we played 7.5. It's 6-1. Xavier Hernandez coming in now for Houston. 3 2/3 innings pitched. He has given up 7 hits. Opponents hitting 389 off of Xavier. 2 walks, 1 K this season. Slaughter 3 for 3. Ball 4. So with the score 6-1, they'll just play it cool here. Smith 0 for 3. This is going to be a grounder to Bagwell. No, it's foul. So now to count 1 and 2 to Ozzie Smith. And that's going to be a base hit to right. And Slaughter will hold at second. The Roger Hornsby, who hit the home run earlier, 1 for 3. And this is going to be a grounder to Correa, who plays at shortstop now. And they get a 6-4-3 double play. Edmonds is 1 for 4. All 4, which puts runners at the corners. Second walk issued for Hernandez. He can go 75 pitches. Holiday 1 for 4. That's going to be a base hit that plates Slaughter and makes it 7-1. Now Keith Fernandez, who is now fallen to 286, 8 for 28 on the season. And this is going to be a line drive to Biggio, side retired. So St. Louis needs 3 outs for the W. They lead. After that run, they pick up in the 8th, which will likely be insurance. 7-1. Lindy McDaniel, 7 pitches of his 75. He'll stay in and pitch to Cesar Cedeno. Cedeno on the day, 1 for 4. Strike 3. That's 10 Ks now for McDaniel in relief. Bagwell, 250, 0 for 4 today. Right to Smith, over to Hernandez. A couple of gold glovers there. Second out. Ken Caminiti, the last chance to dance for Houston, 1 for 4. But this is hit pretty well. Slaughter will make the grab, and that's your ball game. 7-1, St. Louis prevails over Houston. And that is your final score, 7-1. It was Harnish taking the loss, 4-5. Newsom taking the win, 6-5. Carlos Lee hit the only run of the game for Houston, that home run, that solo home run. Hornsby and Edmonds homered for St. Louis, and Slaughter went 3 for 3. And you see the pitchers there. Harnish did only pitched 2 batters into the 5th, where he got yanked. Dolly, Wheeler, Hernandez all came in, and Newsom pitched 7 1/3, and McDaniel came in, got the save, an inning and 2/3 relief. Your MVP was Lindy McDaniel. Interesting decision there. So we will be back next Saturday for another round of HTBL baseball. We will be in June as far as the season goes. And we'll see what happens when we get to our next game. It'll probably be a Pacific League, Atlantic League game, I beg your pardon, because I did Pacific League today. I'll do an Atlantic League game for you all next week. We'll try to find the best game. This has been Big Pauly coming to you, wishing you all well, Godspeed, and God bless. We will do it all again soon. Thank you, Al Red Sox fan, for dropping by. Just wanted to get some practice in. I know we have some other people streaming tonight. And we'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.